Welcome back to another episode of GE Talks. My name is Jessam, and this is where we talk about the news that was. Now, our top stories are for today. Masika finally confirmed signing with Defjam. The government is set to spend $1 trillion in the new fiscal year, and Andrew Holness is the subject of conflict of interest probe. Stay tuned, guys, for more news in details. Let's go. We begin with the news regarding Masika. Alright then, so now Masika has officially announced his signing to Def Jam Recordings with pieces featuring Joshi on his first release under the newly minted deal. Pieces is a song of triumph, is a celebration of what you have worked hard for and motivates the listeners to keep on going. You will be victorious, Masika said of the song, which has a new music video. Now, the song touches on upcoming challenges and obstacles you're faced along the way as we navigate through this thing called life. The challenges you're faced with make you stronger. They mold you into a warrior, the warrior which is needed to be successful, the artist continued. Now, Tunji Balagun, chairman and CEO of Def Jam Recordings, has said in an upcoming release, Def Jam has always been home for great artists across the wide spectrum of black music, and Masika is very much embellic of that vision, representing the new wave of Jamaican dancehall and reggae. Masika's versatility and unique sonic perspective has the potential to impact markets all over the world. It feels like the new beginning of something very special, and we're excited to welcome him to our Def Jam family. All right, so let me just say this. Finally, we have got the confirmation. I would have stated in my previous video that with regarding Masika, that it doesn't matter regardless of whether or not he would have signed with Def Jam. We know that he's going places, we know that he's a very talented person, and there is a lot more in store for him. I am though happy that Def Jam would have recognized his true capability and potential, the fact that he's very versatile, as they would have stated, and that he's able to capture and make impacts on several markets across the world. I'm very happy that Def Jam has also recognized the impact that both reggae and dancehall has made on the world, and they finally are all more international recording labels are recognizing that reggae music is a big deal, that dancehall music is a big deal, that Jamaican music of course is really a big deal. I'm extremely elated and happy for that. So therefore we're just really happy. I'm glad that both parties would have confirmed that both of them they're collaborated together, and we just hope that based on the deal that was signed, it is going to be beneficial to both parties. We remember Spice, people remember Spice, and what was her previous if my memory eludes me, oh my gosh, her previous recording company, BP Records, and how the various bureaucracies that she would have had to gone through, and it took her 10 years to really create an album. I hope that because of that, I think that is something to learn from, and I would have hoped that Masika would not have just signed the document just like that, or signed the contract just like that, but he would have been in contact with his lawyers to really comb through all the legal loopholes just to ensure that he's done patched and it makes sense. Because as you know, we understand that there are a lot of culture vultures out there to take advantage of Jamaican music, and parties may not necessarily benefit from it, right? So we want to ensure that both parties are actually benefiting from the music, or from the collaboration rather. Alright, so we're very happy, and yeah, Masika, let's hope that you would have done your due diligence and have your attorneys or your lawyers comb through the country. You just sign just like so, just fight for the company, you fight for the recording company and just sign. So no, you understand? You do your due diligence and read through the contract carefully. When you're signing these people, when you're doing especially big things like this, you have to, don't be blinded by the hype. You have to keep your head on your body, and basically just look, really keep your eyes open, Do what you're doing, but just be very observant of what you're doing. Make mental notes, make physical notes. Just know say I already see. Just cause anything gonna happen. We know the thing go. We know business here already. You understand? But yeah, all in all though, to the best of my ability, I trust that everything will have gone well. I trust that it is a symbiotic relationship with both Masika and Defjam, and both parties will be able to be successful. And this will be basically greater than the collaboration I think with was it Defjam they signed with I did Defjam I talk about in my life with Cape Town, or was it? I remember. Yeah, I think I did Defjam. Defjam would have signed with Caverton, and it didn't reach too far from the Billboard chart. But I believe that this is going to reach a lot better on the Billboard chart, and this is going to be more successful than the collaboration with Caverton. You understand? Yeah. Right. We are wishing, we're basically wishing growth and success and full success for Masika. All right. So on to our next news. This is regarding the government. We continue with the news. So the government is expected to spend $1 trillion. Wow. The government is expected to spend $1 trillion in the new upcoming fiscal year. Now, according to Jamaica Information Service, the government is proposing to spend a total of $1 trillion Jamaican dollars for the 2023-2024 fiscal year. This is Jamaica's first $1 trillion budget. Minister of Finance and Public Service, Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, made the disclosure as he tabled the estimates of expenditure in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, February 14. Now, Dr. Clark said that the funds are allocated across the main expenditure categories and is comprised of non-debt recurring expenditures of $665.7 billion, capital expenditure of $75.3 billion, and debt services of $280.6 billion. Included in the non-debt recurring expenditures are allocations to implement the second year of the 3-year public sector compensation restructuring and allocations of operationalize the implementation independent fiscal commission, which has been captured as head 10,000 in the expenditure estimates. Now, the allocations of capital expenditure takes into account the existing capacity to implement capital programs and focuses on the priority areas to enhance development. Debt servicing at 9.5% of gross domestic product GDP, which reflects amortization, that is principal payments and interest payments, reflects action taken over prior years to reduce the debt burden, Dr. Nigel Clark said. Now, with interest payments this year of $155 billion being fully financed by revenue, the overall public debt is estimated to end the current fiscal year in March of 2023 at 79.7% and of GDP, and is expected to decline further to 74.2% of GDP by fiscal year 2023-2024. He added, the minister noted that this is a projection, but should it be achieved, it would mark the first time since the nationalization of the financial service crisis through the Financial Sector Adjustment Company (FinSAC) in the latter half of the 1990s. The debt has entered the domain of pre-FinSAC levels. All right. So in addition, central government revenue and the grant inflows are estimated at $898.6 billion, which alongside the above the line expenditure of 887.7 billion dollars will generate the required fiscal balance surplus of $9.9 billion or 0.3% of GDP, consistent with financial fiscal rules rather. Now, Dr. Clark said corresponding primary balance required for debt service and to generate the target fiscal balance is approximately 165 billion or 5.6% of GDP. It should be noted that the revenue estimated table today reflects the original budget tabled in March of 2022, although we have indicated revisions of fiscal year 2022 to 2023 revenue estimated to each table of the three supplementary expenditure expenses, he noted. Now, Dr. Clark informed that the largest single item of expenditure is the amount of 338 billion dollars for wages and salaries, which include provisions for the second year of the implementation of the public sector compensation restructuring. He pointed out that the level of expenditure is approximately $100 billion higher than the wages and salaries for fiscal year 2022 to 2021 after adjusting the allowance provision previously captured in programs. This should be abundantly evident that, based on what I've just described, that there is no room in the upcoming fiscal year, which is 2023 to 2024, for salary payment related to 2023 to 2024 to be made. Dr. Nigel Clark said the amount of 338 billion only contains the 2023 to 2024 salaries. We are therefore working feverishly, making ourselves available to complete negotiations on the public sector restructuring in the remaining weeks of the fiscal year to facilitate fiscal year 2022 to 2023 salaries in the fiscal year 2022 to 2023, he told the House. Now, the minister noted that any of the amounts not paid by March 31st will be paid over a number of years beginning in the fiscal year that follows the upcoming one. Now, even if the first time is a no, we are not deterred. That does not mean that we cannot get to a yes. There are only a few weeks left, and we are available morning, noon, and night, weekends and weekdays and weekends. Let's talk. Let's get it done, Dr. Nigel Clark urged. Oh wow. Okay, this was a mouthful. This was a lot to take in. Alright, so let's just decode because there's a lot of things. So the government is paying or spending $1 trillion. Now, normally every year with the new fiscal year, we open up the parliament, the whole 9 yards. What I am aware of, to the best of my knowledge, is the government would have normally, when I've watched it over the years, it would be like $700 billion. I remember when it's $800 billion, then 900. But we projected that eventually it would have reached $1 trillion. At least for me personally, I would have projected that it would have eventually reached $1 trillion. Now let me just do my little calculation here. Let me see if I can make a calculation, right? So what I want to do is to basically calculate let me see something here. 1 trillion Jamaican dollars. 1 trillion J no JMD to USD. So basically to USD. All right, so let me look at maths cars. Yeah, you. All right, so that's basically 6,444,666,000 US dollars. All right, so that's basically 6.4 billion. Basically, 6.4 billion US dollars Jamaica is spending on the national on basically spending back basically on the country and the budget. And then they would have mentioned that a major portion of it would basically be going back towards basically paying back debt basically. So he would have also indicated that he's spending an additional $100 billion on the new compensation package. So basically speaking, saying that which would make sense because you're going to raise the base pay, or raise the pay rather, of the public sector workers. So if you're going to raise that, so he's saying that there's going to be an additional $100 billion spent. I do support that, but this is my thing though. Because remember, the Jamaican dollar is sliding, so you almost want to say $6,500 on the other, because years ago teachers would not get like $50,000. People that if they get $50,000, that's enough. I recall when my father was a policeman, that was before I was born, and he was getting $2,000. $2,000 a month, he told me, right? And back then, $2,000 was not enough money. That, you understand? Right now, the government is being paid. Sorry, the policemen are being paid like roughly. I don't know exactly to the best of my knowledge because my father's no longer police. But again, if there's any police watching this, correct me if I'm wrong. But roughly they're about like $150,000 a month, to the best of my ability. So therefore, from $2,000 to $150,000, it's not necessarily a case that it's way more money. Right? Yes, it's more money, but the value remains the same. If that makes sense. So yes, it's more money, but the value basically remains the same. Because when you talk about the spending power and spending on like when you're purchasing stuff, remember the things that go up. So like you have to look at that as well. So therefore, when you're meeting inflation, right? When you're comparing that versus inflation, is it more? Is it less? That's something that you also have to look at. So when persons may want to look and say, oh my God, yes, more money, this, that, and the other. First of all, let's ask a question. Fundamental question: where is this money coming from? That's a big question I need to ask. First and foremost, where is this money coming from, right? And then after we answer that question, right? Remember, things that go up. So it's like, I think there's going to be a benefit. There's naturally going to be a benefit, because I was speaking to a friend who works for the post office, and when she originally started working, and that was like 8 years ago, or no, like 9 years ago, 2014, she would have indicated that she was getting like $38,000 a month. We would have did for hungry, and it moved from $38,000 to $98,000 base pay, right? And that's a big jump within a 9-year time span. And then they're going to get, with this new compensation package, they will get more part. It's going to be an increase come April, and then next year again it's going to be an increase because of the I don't remember what is the name of that I don't have my notes. This Jamaica civil servants, I believe. Yeah, I don't remember what the corporation name, but they will be under the Jamaica Civil Servants. I think it's the Civil Servants Association. So correct me if I'm wrong, people. If you are a civil servant, correct me if I'm wrong. But they have a 3-year deal where basically every year there is an increase on their salary. So you can look at that and say, okay, yeah, that not too bad. That not too bad. We remember we're working to make Jamaica a place to Um, what I'm saying, Vision 2030, a place to work, live, raise families, and do business. All I'm something there, she. Right now we are in 2023, so therefore we have 7 years left until Vision 2030 comes about. Yeah, I think it was this inception took place back when Bruce Golding was prime minister. I think I was in high school at the time or primary school. But remember anyways, really young people, yeah, really young. Anyways though, so we really there's a lot of work to be done in order to achieve Vision 2030. I do welcome this because it's a step in the right direction. Let us watch and see what's going to happen. Yeah, we just want to watch and see this. We want to see where basically this is going. All right, so yeah, that's it for the $1 trillion budget that the government is expected to spend. And now we're going to talk about Andrew Holness. Yeah. Okay, so we continue with this report regarding Andrew Holness, all right, or dearest Prime Minister. And so it states that the Integrity Commission has referred a report implicating Prime Minister Andrew Holness in an alleged conflict of interest to the Director of Corruption Prosecution after it concluded that he may have influenced the awarding of millions of dollars in government contracts to the company of a business associate. All right. Now, here's what it says. So this is according to the Jamaica Gleaner, by the way. Now, the recommendation was made in the 107-page report, which contains details of the investigation into the award of government contracts into Westcon Construction Limited between 2009 to between 2006 to 2009. The report said that the company's director Robert Gavin and Donovan Simpson are known to Holness for more than 20 years. Contracts were awarded through the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information (MOEYI) when Holness served as Portfolio Minister, the Social Development Commission (SDC), and the National Works Agency. The report said 10 contracts were awarded to Westcon Construction Limited, the Ministry of Education and Youth and Information, totaling of $21.8 million. 5 were reports to the Office of the Contractor General by way of the Ministry of Education. Quarterly contract awarded QCA reports for the period. The report said that Gavin is personally known to Holness and has been employed both in the St. Andrew West constituency, Central constituency, and his personal business. Gavin was also a director in which Positive Jamaica Foundation Limited, where Holness remains a director rather. Now, Gavin, the Finance Minister, Dr. Nigel Clark, and Warren Vernon were noted as ceased directors as at November 1st, 2016. Both Holness and Gavin were also listed as directors of the company Sunshine Mobile Company, for which the core business activities were the provision of transportation consultancy. Now, Gavin also listed as a ceased director as of November 1st, 2016 in the company West Central St. Andrew Trust, for which Andrew Holness was listed as a director as well. Both Gavin and Juliet Holness, the Member of Parliament for St. Andrew East Rural, and the Prime Minister's wife were listed as directors of the company Omega Bridge Finance, for which the core business activities recorded was investments. The Prime Minister ceased being a director in the company September 2007 and is listed as a shareholder together with Gavin. The report said Westcon Construction Limited was recommended in a letter which was dated on December 20th, 2007 that authored by Holness for the award of contract in the amount of $1,450,000 for works in the St. Andrew West Central relating to the 2007 Christmas work program. The NWA awarded contracts to the company totaling 33.7 million dollars rather. The report said that 26 fell within the value threshold, which required the NWA to submit particulars of the contract to the then contractor general by way of a QCA reports. Only 6 were reported. Now the contracts were awarded through the SDC Social Development Commission to Weston, total of $370,000 in a $1.4 million. Both were reported to the Office of the Contractor General. Both but were not evidence of the Social Development Commission utilizing formal tender proceedings for procurement. The report said in relation to the contract that was awarded by the SDC, the Western Consultancy Holness wrote to the SDC in a letter dated September 23, 2009, and advised that Gavin was employed as the project manager under the Consultancy Development Fund or under the Constituency Development Fund in St. Andrew, West Central. Subsequently, invoices were provided to the SDC requiring that payments were made to Gavin in care of Western Construction Limited. The matter concerned the potential conflict of interest which arose in the relation to the recommendation of which was made by the Most Honorable Andrew Holness is being referred to the Director of Corruption Prosecution for consideration with the breaches of the Contractor General Act, the Public Sector Procurement Relations 2008, the Corruption Prevention Act, and or any other applicable law, the report said. All right, so there so basically, let me get the full understanding, because this is a lot also as well. This would have taken place when Andrew Holness was the Minister of Education. This was also when I was in high school. Oh my gosh, I'm so young. But older person will say that I am young. I don't consider myself young, even though I'm still in my 20s, my late 20s. Anyways, so it stated that there were 26 contracts that were awarded, but they can only record 6 out of the 26. So I'm to the other 20. Right? At the end of the day, there has to be checks and balances that take place, and so the procurement process was not necessarily done correctly. And because of that, I'm seeing here where they would have cited some irregularities that would have taken place, and so this is why he was recommended. However, in later news, because this news is somewhat a bit outdated, in later news we see here that no charges would be laid against him. I don't know why. I will look into that also as well. So that's stay tuned for more news. But it also further reports that came out that there will actually be no charges that will be laid against him. He will not be prosecuted or anything of that sort. It is not new. Remember Portia and the FinTech situation, Portia and the FinTech saga. So it is not new to hear a Prime Minister being implicated in any corruption charges. It is not something that is new to us. What I will ask, though, I'm just rather curious to find out what happens, because, well, again, they're saying that this has not escalated, so this is not a situation like a robbery case with the Minister of Education and rob most of the money, and so he had to leave. Normally, though, when there's any form of corruption allegation that is meted against a minister, they would normally have to resign. He's lucky in the sense that they stated that it came out that, and he would have also, Andrew Holness, he would have also come out to say that, or to deny any of these charges, basically. So therefore, let's see what happens. Let's see what you know. This is a lot, but then again, it's not so much a lot, because with the white collar crimes that have been taking place, it's just like with the banks, especially in the financial sector, and then now also as well. I mean, it's a chopping season. Jamaica, we're in a chopping season, right? Everybody a chop, right? It is not new to us where we hear of a politician involved in irregular financial activities. Also, Juliet Holness her name was mentioned as well, like husband and wife. Even though no charges were laid against her, uh, it is my belief, if that they're guilty, if it is in truth and in fact comes out that they're indeed guilty of corruption charges, that she would have also been complicit to it as well. She would have been an accomplice to it. Again, this is my belief. Alright, nobody can sue me, I have the money. We don't even get paid for YouTube, so I have the money. So don't nobody can sue me, come money. But yeah, it is a lot. This is a mouthful, and what we want to do is to watch and see what this is going. Also, as well, opposition leader Mark Golding has asked Andrew Holness to step aside to allow this to take the investigation to take place. But we know this is political. You know, this is political football. So you know how that go with the people. So I am not even surprised by that. Really and truly, I'm actually not surprised by that. But right, we want to watch to see where this is going. We want to see what is going to happen. And yeah, I'm not surprised though. Whenever a politician is listed in any implication, in an irregularity, as I said, I'm not surprised, because we know that Robin Zagalan, both on the PNP and the JMP, it is my belief that Robin Zagalan in a day government. You understand? It is my belief, right? So I'm really not surprised. It's nothing new to me. It is sad, but it is true. I'm not surprised. But what I just hope is that we can also benefit, as long as we as individuals, as long as we as Jamaican people are benefiting significantly. At this point, we never care. Take it up with you and God. At this point, we never really respond, to be honest with you. So yeah, thank you very much guys for another episode of GA Talks. My name is Jasam. It was actually my pleasure creating another video for you guys, and I leave you again with my saying, your independence is the foundation of your liberation. Thank you guys, take care and have a blessed day.